Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up. Yeah, stay out all night.
Dome, going to the butt, turn it on the butt. It looks like KGXT Radio live, KGXTradio.com live. I don't know. Can everybody hear us? Talking to you're so far away. No one's going to be able to hear
fine.
anything.
Everybody says I'm so much louder than you.
Yeah, only when you're mad.
No.
It's when you're mad. When you're mad, you're louder than everybody.
I'm a little peeved at the moment because you started
Can
a
I-
conversation and then you stopped.
Okay, I didn't start the conversation. Well, okay, I kind of did. All right.
Yes, you did.
Welcome to KGXT Studios. No. We are not in KGXT Studios.
No.
It is a Gen X Talks live broadcast. It is a Gen X Talks podcast live from the Loop Studios just outside the Minden exclusion zone, the 9-mile circumferenced area around the foxhole where the Sun Valley Fox lives, where we've moved as close as we can, as close as allowed
Oh, okay.
to the Sun Valley Fox.
There's a perimeter.
There's a 9-mile exclusion zone. We got as close as we could. We're at like 9.2 miles, and we can't get any closer. But that's as close as we can get. That's like when you want to go over to someone's house and they won't let you in. So you just hug the side of the house because you want in.
Wow. Let's continue this discussion right before you cut me off.
Okay.
Rude.
Yeah, I'm checking on the thing. It says Gen X Mom's mic might be dialed up just a little bit, like you need it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, I don't. As somebody says, I'm louder and prouder today.
Wait,
Mom
audio-
X is louder today.
Invisihuchi says audio sounds good. Mama X mic volume might be dialed up a bit more than your. Oh, you're
See?
still louder?
I told you I'm always louder.
All right, there we go. Okay.
The yawn ratio today is going to be very high.
Oh, I'm sorry, but we're not in the studio. We're not in the studio. You blame
I'm
the
just
studio.
tired. Did not sleep well last
Well, I'm
night.
taking care of myself right now. No yawns for me.
I didn't sleep well last night.
When you think that you're in trouble
Oh my goodness.
and you need help on the double, when you think that you might take a licking,
Buck.
buck. Taking my secret sauce, turning into a super chick, and still waiting for somebody to send me the Zorro mask. I will wear the Zorro mask every time I drink this. I'll do it. I'll do it right on camera.
Unbelievable. Anyways, we both didn't sleep well. You know when you're away from home, this isn't like we haven't stayed here long enough to like.
No, and plus it was the drive was that was a terrible drive.
I'm
We'll get
tired.
to that.
We're gonna get lots of yawns. Here comes the first.
There's first John. The over-under on yawns today is
It's
9.
gonna be huge.
It's 9.
I'm so tired.
That drive, I'll tell you what happened yesterday. Leaving from the land of Bake in the Southern California region to just outside the exclusion zone in Minden, Nevada. First of all, Briggs slipped backwards in his maturing level. You noticed it when you said he was up playing video games, and you're like, we shouldn't do that. And you let him play. He wasn't up super late, but I said, hey, go fill up your truck with gas tonight. I'll do it tomorrow.
And he was in his truck driving around.
He was in his truck driving around.
It wasn't like
and I
he was
said,
leaving.
he went over to UPS to mail some stuff to his sister, but we couldn't do it. We have to get boxes. I said, take that stuff out of the back of your truck. You had a lot of boxes. I'll do it tomorrow. There's yawn number 2.
Oh, this is gonna be a long hour. Sorry, people.
And it was, back up your truck and hook it up tonight. I'll hook it up tomorrow. And the list goes on and on and on about the stuff that I was trying to get him to do. Just get all the stuff you can done the night before. He just not interested, not getting it. He got up the next morning. He was running late. He took a long time in the shower. He wanders around. Upstairs looking for his clothes, downstairs looking for his clothes, out to the studio looking for his
It's
shoes.
like a lost dog.
There's no urgency. We're trying to man, let's go. And there's no urgency. Like, okay, just. And yawn number 3. Wow, I think we're going to cross over the 9 pretty quick.
We're gonna have a problem.
So it was tough for me. I didn't yell. Remember, I'm on my new parenting style. I said, listen, you're not doing things correctly. You shouldn't have. You were lazy last night. You put off a lot of stuff. You shouldn't have. You should have done it.
Right.
This morning, you're just walking with no urgency. Now we're late. Did you tell him that you're kind of getting everybody upset? Did you ever have that talk
Yes.
with him? And just tell everybody how you presented it to him to let him know the tone of the day.
I just said, I go, we got to button this up. We got to make this better. I said, because when you're not on your best, I go, it slows everybody down and makes everybody else uncomfortable. And everybody else has to pull the
Yeah.
weight.
And it's anxiety because we're supposed to be out at 7. We didn't get out till 8:30.
Yeah.
And everyone who's part of this is now anxious and upset. Why? Because he was late. Because he's lazy. There's 4.
Oh,
yawns.
my goodness. We should have delayed this podcast.
So
Damn.
it was a tough one. Then we get on the road and we got to go get him gas. We got to wait for him to fuel up. It's just we didn't get on the road till 8:30. Then the traffic on eastbound 58 up over to Tehachapi.
I
Now,
wouldn't know. I was asleep.
yeah, I was going to say you don't have any idea.
I took my medicine and went out. You know what? That's like the first time I've ever fallen asleep on that road too.
You've never fallen asleep that early.
Or on that road.
No.
'Cause that road is like windy
And bumpy and it's kinda
bumpy,
torn up, but-
I slept.
I'm telling you, there were so many truckers on the road, and you think truckers would know. Okay, I know we have a lot of truckers that listen to the show, watch the program. I get that. I love you guys. You guys are the backbone of America as far as I'm
Here comes
concerned.
a butt.
However,
All right, that's the next word. However, there's something.
I can't believe how many assholes there were driving slow.
Wow.
And
Maybe they were full.
I get that, but why back up 50 cars so you can pass a trucker
So you can get past one truck.
at half a mile faster than he's going?
They had places to be.
A trucker, no, he doesn't. See, this is the thing. A trucker pulls out to go around another truck driver,
It's a race.
and it takes him 7 miles to get around that truck. Then he wasn't being held back. You can't say that. You can't say, well, I need to get going here. I got to get myself around this trucker. That's five yawns.
Sugar pot pie, man. It's going to be a long morning.
Did you just cuss saying sugar pot? Did you just?
There's no video recording this time. I'm
Yes, there
sorry.
is.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. And now you're sitting back, not where you were sitting up.
I know.
I don't know
I'm going to
what-
yawn again. How do you stop yourself from yawning? Let me pinch myself or
I
something.
used to put my finger in the baby's mouth, remember? Used to hate that.
Yes, Bricker smell used it. Go ahead, complain about the truckers
So if you're going to pass a trucker, okay, go past him.
climbing a mountain.
Yeah, but don't take 7 miles to do it. If it's going to take you 7 miles and you're going to back up traffic, don't.
On a
then-
2-lane highway.
Yeah, then don't do it. Just sit there and go, you know what? You're going about the same speed if it takes you 7 miles. And these are truckers. They know better.
They don't give a shit.
They don't. What was that?
They don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit. Not even a little shit.
No.
No.
They got places to be. People see.
I think they just turn up the music.
Time is money.
Yeah, I think they turn up the music and don't care. That's what I was, because it happened. It normally takes us 45 minutes to get to Tehachapi. It was easily an hour and 15 minutes to get over there with how slow they were driving. So we get up over the pass. We get down the other side. Briggs and I are going
That's
along.
why when I woke up, I went, we're right here. This is it.
Yeah,
This
you've
is the
been
only spot we're at.
You've been asleep for 2 hours and you're like, wait a minute, we're just getting on the 14 in Mojave. What the fuck, Chuck? Then we jump on the 14, turns into the 395, and all of a sudden my gut pain comes back.
Yeah, we don't know why.
And it was so bad. It was like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom. Then I get out. No, you don't. Then I got sick to my stomach. I'm going to throw up. Pull over. No, I don't. I didn't have to throw up. Every 10 miles, my body was saying, go to a bathroom or throw up. And every time I stopped, I didn't have to do either one. But it sure felt like it. I mean, it felt like okay, I'm just pulling over on the side of the road.
This was going to be a long.
And by the 9th time I pulled over, I'm seriously going, you know what? I'm going to shit on the side of the road. I am sick of looking for a bathroom. And I didn't have to go. I didn't have to do anything. Nothing. My stomach was just fucking with me the whole time. I sent Briggs on. I go, look, man, you just got to get to Minden. You got to get to the Loop Studios. I don't know how if I'm even going to make it tonight. I was seriously considering getting a room like in Bishop and going, let's just start tomorrow. I can't do this. And then all of a sudden my stomach started to feel. I did call Dr. McDreamy, who, as you know, is in Shanghai doing the fights over in Shanghai. But I did text him. I didn't even think he'd reply, honestly, because he does not reply to his patients when he's out of the country. And he does us, to his credit. I love the guy. He did. And I told him, I just texted him briefly exactly what was going on the last 3 days, my diet. And I go, I don't know what the fuck, Chuck, this is pissing me off. And he said simply, he goes, just keep eating bland food and we'll get you to a GI gastro guy when you get to Nevada. We'll figure this out. He was very confident that a GI guy is going to figure this out like in 10 seconds because that's their area.
That's good.
So he's just like, just keep eating the bland
So
food.
he's not concerned.
No, he's not concerned at all. He's like, nah, you're going to be okay. This is just a bullshit gig. But, keep eating bland food and just, you're doing good and you're losing weight and you're moving on. Just, it's uncomfortable, but just stick it out. You know what he said? He goes, just keep pulling over. That was his exact
my
words.
goodness.
No, he's like, when you think you just pull over, don't fight it. Don't hold it back. If you're going to throw up, but just keep pulling over and you'll eventually get there. So what happened was a miracle of God.
A miracle of God.
It was the freak of nature. Something unexpected happened and it changed everything for us. Because as I started to get better, and I'll tell you what, out of desperation, I took a little bit of Pepto-Bismol, which comes back to bite me later in life.
Oh, Dr. Madrini's not going to.
He was pissed. I told him. He
okay.
skipped over it. And I told him, I said, out of desperation to solve this, I took a little. And I put in parentheses, I go, I know I'm going to pay for this later. So he didn't comment. But also then that didn't help. I tried Gas X. Thought maybe I was having gas pains. That didn't help. Finally, the gas pains or whatever they were, the gut pain after 4 hours began to subside a little bit. But I had been fighting it for 4 hours. All of a sudden, I was dead tired. I couldn't keep my eyes
Fighting
open.
pain is exhausting.
And we were going through Bishop. I think we were in Bishop or Lone Pine.
No, we were going through Bishop.
Maybe it was Bishop. And I kept telling you, talk to keep me awake.
I'm like, I don't know what to talk to you about. Like,
And you quit talking. And all of a sudden, I woke up. I woke up and startled myself. I was driving through the town of Bishop, and I woke up and went, oh, shit. I went out. Now, I probably wasn't out for more than 5 seconds, but I went.
Didn't go off the road or
Didn't go off the
anything.
road. And I said,
didn't
okay,
realize
that scared the shit out of me. I said, okay, I'm done. I pulled over. I said, I'm not doing this. I'm getting a room. And you went, I can drive,
Yeah. I said, I'll drive.
but you can't drive a trailer. You've never driven a trailer, and you've never driven a long trailer.
No, not your car hauler. No. I've never
So
driven it.
you never pulled that. That was going to be a tough one, but you said you wanted to try. So I gave you a crash course.
I was nervous. I was nervous, but I think I would have been more nervous if we were on the 5 and the 99 with all the trucks.
Yeah.
But on the 395, it's a little more open.
Yeah, much less.
It's less stressful. Let's put it that way.
So I did. I went in the passengers. I was out.
You went out.
I went out.
You didn't even give me a mile or two
No,
to
it
check on things. Nothing. You're like gone.
So I figured, well, I'm either going to wake up and feel better, or I'm going to wake up in heaven and God's going to go, yeah, she took it off a cliff. You're fucked. I did give you a crash course. It was basically just be careful, go slow up hills, slow down hills. You already know how to downshift when you need to. But pulling a trailer for your first time is very difficult for anybody.
And guess what? You slept an hour and I didn't even wake him.
No, she drove. It was like, I calculated, it was like an hour and 15 minutes. And she did such a good job. It never even woke me up. You're driving. You never had a problem. Nobody honked at you.
Nope.
Or that would have woke me up.
Oh.
And so we made, I'll tell you what, the miracle is that one, she drove the trailer and you did it up over 2 passes.
I didn't.
You went up over 2 passes and down the other side, first try. And when I woke up, I felt like a breath of fresh air.
You did. He was ready to yap my head off. Yak, 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 yak. I'm like, whoa.
What did I tell? I was so good. What did I tell you I was ready for?
Little badonkadonk.
I said,
and I went, no.
You're going to pull over the side of the road? I'm ready for some badonkadonk. Let's go.
I was like, yeah,
You're
no.
like, just get me to Minden.
Yeah.
So, but that Briggs had already gotten there. The pain had subsided and it went away. I was just, by then I was exhausted. I wasn't tired. It was just, I felt like I was just beat up. And we made it up here. We got some stuff unloaded and I got a little bit of Genix Talks work done. Then we crashed out. But I'm telling you, that drive up here with that first 4 hours being what it was one of the, I didn't think I was going to make it. I was telling you, look, I can't do this. I'm just going to have to get a room. We did it, and that was complete teamwork. If you hadn't given me that hour of sleep, if you hadn't done that,
Yeah.
I would not have made it.
Well,
I would have
thank you for
crashed.
trusting me to drive the trailer.
Well, thank you for doing what you always do. And when I need to lean on you in an area that you normally aren't in charge of, staying in your lane means staying in your lane.
Right.
Driving trailers is not part of your. It's
No, it's
not your
not.
department.
Not my department,
But you
I
did it. And if you hadn't done that, it would have made things even worse. We wouldn't have got here until today. We probably would have missed
Or we
it.
would have slept on the side of the road. You
It
would have
just
slept. I mean,
it
we
would have
could've-
just been a mess. You know, we had Branger with us and stuff. It just was you did that and it changed everything. And I will tell everyone out loud that a good woman can help you through life, especially not just the day-to-day, yes, the day-to-day stuff, but a good woman knows just when to roll up her sleeves and go shoulder to shoulder with you. And you've done that, not a ton of times, but the times needed. Couldn't ask for a better partner.
Thank you.
Just so you know, that
Thank
was an
you.
incredibly good thing.
How many more trips you think till we're up here?
When we go back down,
Permanently.
that's you keep asking that, like, okay, when are we done?
No, I've changed it so when can
When
I stay
When
up
can I
here?
stay? Yeah.
That's what I say.
The next trip down, we load up the garage on my trailer. We keep Dr. Shadowlight's trailer just empty and sitting there. We load up mine full of the garage. We also take a trash run and get rid of all the trash. Then all we do is finish fixing the stuff in the house that needs to get fixed. And at the very end, we load up the studio. We load up the essentials from, you know, we have a bed and we have a desk and a couple chairs to sit at a table. The things we've had to have to function.
Right.
That night, say, okay, we're leaving tomorrow. We load up everything but our bed, and then we load up the bed in the morning. We're done. That's it. That's our last
And
trip.
we're done. We're out.
Yeah, because the garage will be all packed. That's done, and then it'll just be fix all the stuff in the house. And then the day before, we load the trailer.
All right.
That morning, load the bed. We're out. We turn the key and we're done. That's how that goes.
All right.
So we're getting close. You're
All right.
you're getting close to being happy and quit bitching at me. How's that?
So, did you tell everybody your update on your weight loss?
No, I did post on the Fat Guy page,
Well, people.
but I didn't tell them. No, I know. The only people that know about it are the people that frequent it and look.
But you made an effort this morning to.
I'm not going to. Yes, I don't like losing weight being sick. I don't think that's cool. That's not the way to do it. I don't starve myself. But I will tell you, with the complications of my gut and eating kind of bland, I'm not craving food. I'm not having any like, oh my God, I
Right.
can't believe I'm stuck eating, crackers and water, whatever. I'm fine. I don't care. I'm not a picky eater at all. I'm not one of those guys who goes, gosh, I'm craving for a burger from a little stand by Niagara Falls. You see, it was 1987.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not one of those guys. I've had a lot of foods all over the country. I've had some great stuff, and I do enjoy it. But right now, if someone said, well, you're stuck on having, hamburgers and hot dogs, I'm all right, I don't care. I am literally the guy I've always been that way in our marriage. You fed me pretty much whatever. I never complained. Just give me the food, and it's like, all right, this is what we're having. I don't ever push dinner back and go, why are we having this again? I don't do that. I'm just a guy who just kind of grind it out and just go. So because I've kind of always had that attitude, this is no big deal. I don't mind eating yogurt, eating bananas, eating corn tortillas and butter. I don't care. But
Okay.
well, and the reason I
Okay.
don't care, the reason I'm eating it is because I don't feel well. My gut's not doing well, but I'm losing weight.
Yeah.
I'm moving around a lot
So
more.
you're not going to tell people.
No,
That's what you're getting at. That
Well,
was a
I'm not gonna
roundabout
tell-
way of saying not going there.
they need to go find the Fat Guy page. It's on our website. Go look. You can poke around. GenXTalks.com.
So, you totally avoided the conversation we started right before we.
Oh, we're going to go back to that.
Yes, we are.
Okay. You
How
better.
did it start?
It's okay.
You mentioned.
The last show we did, the last Bottom of the Glass
Right.
Nation show we did from our living room at home instead of the studio, and the lighting was different because of the lights you have over the dining room table. They're tinted glass. They're stained glass, and they put a little bit of a tint of color on us.
Right.
Your hair looked incredibly red. Yeah.
Yes.
And so Two Bear took a screenshot and put that in one of the staff threads. And he goes, Gen X mom looks hot as a redhead. And then
I mentioned to you, I said, I was a redhead at one time. Like, I did have reddish.
But I don't think anybody
brown.
ever saw that.
That's what we were talking about. And I said, I wonder what people are going to think. And I go, gray. And your comment was?
My comment was, I love gray
No,
hair.
you didn't.
This
That's not what you said.
It's gonna be
What did you
wonderful. I
say?
said, I looked at you and said, I don't think I'm gonna like you with gray hair.
And I wasn't sure if you were joking or not.
I just don't. I'm used to you the way you are. I mean, if you want to go gray, go gray. But it's just, I don't know.
Wow.
I'm kind of just used to you, kind of how you are. Now, I've gone gray, but I did it naturally over 30 years.
Well, mine's naturally gray underneath all of
But
this,
you
too.
didn't let it grow gray. You're just going to all of a sudden appear one day. Boom! You're going to come home
It's turning gray right now. Nobody knows. Nobody's made a comment about it.
because you color it. You change stuff.
I haven't colored it in 2 months now.
No way.
Yep.
No way. That's not possible. I'm looking at you right now. I don't see any gray anywhere.
There's gray.
Well, I don't know.
People, there is gray hair showing.
I don't.
See, that's why I don't think you're going to notice. I don't know.
I don't know. The carpets still match the drapes, so I'm fine. I don't care.
It'll definitely match the drapes when we go gray. That is no joking.
All right.
No
so,
joking. Let's move on. Okay,
yeah,
that ended up better than I thought. So I thought we were really going to go at it. So I want we got to talk about the Grubhub pizza delivery thing that happened this last week. I forgot what day. Oh, Briggs had buddies over for a landline party.
Yeah.
Do people know what a landline is?
Well, it's a LAN LAN party.
LAN party.
Local area network. They just took over the studio. They all brought their computers.
Him
They
and
all
his buddies for
brought their monitors.
one last hurrah. They all brought their computers to the studio and went and set everything up so they can game in the same room. So
You can let them out. There you go. She's going off camera. Let Ranger out. Go on. Get out. Yeah, so Gen X Mom did a great thing. She ordered just a stack of pizzas and 2 liters of sodas and told the boys, here you go. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, so I went online to Pizza Hut. I did not go through Grubhub. I want to make sure everybody knows that. Not DoorDash. Went through Pizza Hut itself.
Right.
For those that live in California, I don't know if this is everywhere, but Pizza Hut uses DoorDash delivery people.
Or Grubhub.
Or Grubhub, whatever. And so I ordered the pizza. I paid with a credit card, paid the tip, everything out the door. They accepted it.
Then
Pizza's on the way.
Then it's on Pizza Hut because they don't have any delivery drivers anymore.
Correct. That has to
And the reason they got rid of delivery drivers is when fast food restaurants went to $20 or $25 an hour, they said, well, we're not paying our drivers $25 an hour. So they fired all the drivers, eliminated all the positions. Now none of them deliver anymore,
Right.
unless the owners deliver themselves. So you paid Pizza Hut free and clear. Now Pizza Hut's job is to find a driver and get it delivered.
Right. So the guy shows up at the door with the pizzas and everything, and he shows me this receipt that says I owe them $20. It was like 17 and some change. I said, what? I go, what are you talking about? I said, I used a credit card. And I said, it went through. And the guy goes, well, it says here that you owe $17. I go, I don't think so. And I even pulled up my credit card on
Yeah.
my bank account to see what it
Right.
was. And they had charged my card. So I called you. I
Well,
said, I'm going to need some help.
Yeah,
I walked
this was.
in and I said,
well, Briggs,
I need some
Briggs
help.
went out first, and he comes out. He goes, "Dad, you're going to probably have to go out there. This guy's pretty insistent."
Yeah.
It was like $17.98, and he had a receipt in his hand
Yes, that's what
from
he kept
Pizza
telling
Hut.
me.
He showed you that said amount still due, and you're like, "I don't care about an amount still due. I paid Pizza Hut." But when Pizza Hut generated the receipt for him, so you called Pizza Hut.
I did. I called Pizza Hut and I got the manager on the phone, and the manager ended up to be a kid. I mean, a kid. He should not have been a manager because
No.
I was a little irate. Wasn't rude, but the kid goes, well, yeah, it looks like, first he goes, I don't understand. And then he goes, well, then you owe the $17 and something. I go, no, I don't.
Yeah.
And I go, and if I do, how would I pay that? And
Right.
he sat there confused and he was like, by credit card. I go, who am I giving the credit card to?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, just give it to the driver. I went, oh, hell no. And then he goes, well, just pay him cash. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Well, that was the thing is that when you came in first and asked me and said, hey, I even called Pizza Hut. The 12-year-old manager says, give the guy cash. The driver says, give him cash. And I remember I said, you're getting scammed. And you went back out and you hassled them again. Then you came in and told me. Now, I'd already been drinking by that point. Remember, that was our music night?
Yes. Yeah.
I'd already been drinking. So by this time, when Briggs had said, you need to go help mom straighten this guy out, you came back and said, okay, I'm done. They're not being cool about this. I'm like, fuck it. All right. And I went out there and told the guy, I said, what the fuck do you want us to do? He goes, he goes, I just have a receipt, sir. This is a big boy, too. He goes, I just have a receipt, sir. It says you owe money. I said, yeah, well, my wife has a receipt. It says it's fucking paid.
Yeah, I even told the Pizza Hut manager, I go, you know what? You can have your pizzas back. I don't want them. And the guy goes, okay, we'll have the delivery driver bring them back. I go, are you kidding me?
I
You're
think-
taking oven-baked pizza back
That they can't sell.
that
Once-
they can't
no.
resell? And he said, yeah, send it back. And so the driver, the DoorDash
Well,
guys
this is
hearing
where
the whole
they heard the
conversation.
whole thing, but they were calling the 20-year-old manager was calling your bluff. He's
Yeah.
like, fine, if you're not going to fall for our scam, then just bring it back, thinking you'd give in and pay. But now I was out there, and I had a few choice words, and I kept all the pizzas, and I did not pay the $17.88.
That's right.
And the guy walked away. And I came back in and Briggs was eating some of the pizza. And he's like, what happened? I go, you get the pizza. Mom doesn't have to pay. I'm going to keep drinking. Those fuckers are never coming back to our house and doing that again. Because when I put him on the spot, it was one of those situations that Wild Bill once told me, my old man, Wild Bill. He said, you get to a point in a used car sale where the next person who speaks loses. In other words, let me explain this to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is a true fact of life, and you can use this. If you can remember this and use it when it happens live in front of you, you win. Now, follow me on this. If you get to where you're haggling over buying a car, and you say to the car salesman, what's the lowest number you'll take for this car? And the car salesman goes, well, what's the most you'll pay for this car? The next person who speaks loses, because one of you is going to go, well, I guess I could, and what if it's this? If you do it, I guess I could pay $4,500.
Mexican
It's over.
standoff.
You're done. You're never going to get lower than your price. You're never going to get lower than that price. If the used cars salesman says, well, I guess I could let it go for $4,000. All right, you got him, because he can never come up after that number. He's already given you the number. When you get into a situation with the Pizza Hut, it's like, I'm keeping the pizzas. I'm not paying the money. This is the problem on your fucking end. How do you want to handle this? And then the guy goes, well, how do you want to handle it? I just stare. I just wait. Because the next person who talks loses. I could say, well, I guess I'll pay the $20. Or he could say, well, I guess I'll just, and guess what? He was the next one. I'll stare at you for an hour, buddy, because I know the rule. The next person who talks loses.
Well, because I was thinking, I go, if there was an error, like they didn't charge me right or whatever, they would have called me on
Right.
the phone.
Yeah.
And said, we made an error charging you. Let's talk about it. But no, they waited till they showed up at my door.
Or when you called the manager and he pulled up the transaction, he would have said, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't charge you the full amount. He would have just told you.
Right.
But they weren't trying to really get a credit card from you. They were trying to get cash to the driver.
Yes.
And the driver can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
So you guys went in the house with the pizzas and all the 2 liters, and I put him on the spot and just waited. And the next
Yeah,
person
and I
who
told
talks
the
loses.
manager, I go, that's it. I'm not dealing with Pizza Hut anymore. I go, I'm done. And he just lost a customer. I said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, I don't know, but I love the Pizza Factory here in Minden on 395. I love their food. I love those guys up here. It's so delicious. We tried the Pizza Factory in Bakersfield.
Wasn't as good.
Not even close.
Yeah, they're like what is it? It's not. Is it called privately owned? Like they're individually owned
Yeah, maybe they're franchises.
franchises.
I don't know,
That's
but
that's
it's
the word.
it's not even close. And I could give a shit about Pizza Hut and Domino's and Little Caesars. They're good if you're just grabbing something for a
That
movie.
was for the kids. They
Right,
didn't care.
it's fine.
The boys didn't care.
Yeah, the boys didn't mind. But if it's something for you and I were trying to get it, then I try to go a little bit where there's some care involved, and it's really delicious here. So anyway, that's a story I sent you. If you guys were members of Patreon, or you're members of YouTube, or you're members of the General's Lunchbox on Facebook, I posted pictures of that event. I don't even know if you knew that. Did you know I did that?
No, you took pictures?
From the security camera.
Oh.
And it shows you talking and turning away and going, okay, I'm going to go get my husband. And then I posted pictures of that event. And so,
I've never in my life had that ever happen.
well, like when you came in and told me the first time I go, they're trying to scam you. Now get back out there and don't get scammed. Then you came back in, okay, I'm losing this. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll go.
It wasn't just losing it. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, I get it. I'm a girl and we're not going to listen to the girl kind of situation. He kept coming at me and
Right.
at me about it. And I was like, okay, now I'm pulling my husband in. If
Yeah.
you're not listening to me, we're ending this now.
That's always funny. You don't do that very often, but when and it has happened over our tons of years being married, every now and then you go, you know what, I'm done.
I'm tapping out.
I'm going to get my husband, and you're really going to wish I didn't. Because there's not one time I come in and go, okay, let's start over and let's
Or you say that I'm wrong.
let's rehash the whole thing. Let's start at the beginning. Let's tell me the story all over again. I don't do that. By the time you come get me, I walk out there and go, all right, you pissed my wife off. That's where I start.
Yes.
You've made her upset. You've made her mad. We're done talking now. Now we're going to solve this right now. I don't listen to the whole story again.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
So there's the Grubhub Pizza Hut story guide that a lot of you saw the pictures of on the member site. And yes, you can get to the member site if you go to genxtalks.com and scroll down. There's a Patreon member site. It's
Pouring
$1.
yourself out again?
I'm paying the bills.
Oh, okay.
It's $1, but it's just $1. It's $1 a month. Come on, $12.
the lights on.
Yeah, $12 for the whole year. All right, there you go.
So our biggest project this last week has been the KGXT radio.
Yeah, that has been your biggest project that you've drugged me into. I couldn't believe.
I've been patient for how many years now?
Well, something
I've kept
quiet.
I've kept out of KGXT radio
Yep.
for
2 years.
2 years. Yes.
But you scrolled through. I don't even know what you were doing in there the other
What did
day.
you go on there for?
You went on. You just went on the radio station to look at something, and you said the picture and the song wasn't right, and all of a sudden, there's
Sorry.
6 yawns. That's the
Sorry.
sixth one.
It's been a while. They
you-
weren't matching up.
You asked me. You go, give me the login information because you didn't even have the login.
No, no.
You've
that
never been
wasn't
in it.
my
And I said, all right. So I gave you the
What's
login.
my department?
It wasn't your department. Stay in your lane. I said, here's the login, and you started scrolling through. There was 983 songs posted in there, and you were just shaking your head, going, I can't even tell you how many of them are labeled wrong, or don't have album covers, or don't have the right album covers. And I'm like, look, man, that's Josh Maddox's area. He's your station manager, it's not mine. And I had put in, I think in the beginning, I helped Josh out with maybe 20 or 30 songs. And I'd recently put in like 30 more trying to help out.
Oh, I remember. I was asking you. I go, how hard is it to download songs onto it? Like,
It's
what's the process? What do you do?
It takes a little bit. It's not super easy, but you can do it. And boy, once you got in there, you have just been grinding every spare minute. It seems like if you're not doing something
I'm just
around the house,
yeah.
you go in there and you knock down more, and then you knock down more, and you not. But I mean, at the end of 1,000 songs, it's going to be right. It's going to look good.
I'm doing my best, trying to match it all up.
I have posted a lot of those things that I've seen you do on the member sites, again, pictures and stories, and the amount of support you're getting is amazing.
Oh, well, thank
And
you.
it's not just in there. You know, they send me the text messages, they send me the emails, and they tell me that, you know, she's doing the right thing. Let her go. We've only had one negative comment about Josh. One girl says, what the fuck has Josh been doing for 2 years? But I didn't say it. That was a
He
listener.
does have a full-time job.
He does.
I
He's-
have the opportunity to go do something and then go back and, you know.
I think Josh filling prescriptions should fill 5 prescriptions and then change 5 album covers. Then go fill 5 more prescriptions and change 5 more album covers. I think that's how Josh should divide his day working at the pharmacy. You should tell the guy it's pills and it's album covers.
Maybe.
That's 7 yawns. I caught
I
you.
know. I'm sorry.
So, you have been really diligent about doing that for a long, long time, getting that stuff done and handling it. You've been doing a good job, but it's a grind. It is no fun in that at all.
It is.
It is a lot of work.
But it's kind of fun listening to the music too and seeing I've really missed album covers. I didn't realize how much it was like how important the album cover was that drew your attention to it.
Yeah.
And now that I'm going into we have a few 60s, 1960s, 70s, how they've evolved.
Yep.
And I'm enjoying that part is looking at the albums going, dude, this is really cool.
Well, we'll get there. The other problem we have is that there's one playlist you can put up as your background playlist. So if nothing special is playing, the radio station defaults to your playlist, but it can only have 1,000 songs.
Right. That's what you're telling me.
And so now I've had to go in and create one song that's an hour long, and I'll put, 13 or 15 songs, in it and post it as one song. But I've only got a few more. I've only got a little bit of room left to do that. I got to be able to put those in there, and I got to make hour-long songs, which of course are 13 or 14 or 15 different songs. I have to do that, or we're going to run out of room, and that's a tough one to do. But that's what I'm on to next, and I'm getting quite a bit done.
That's good.
The only bad thing is when that one song plays for an hour and it plays 13 different songs, you are not going to see the album covers and the artist of each one of those because the radio station thinks it's only one song.
There's got to be some other way.
I'm working on it, but I just don't want to have the station be repetitive.
I know.
So I'm trying to do the best I can I'd like 3,000 songs to be in there and in rotation, but I'm having trouble figuring out how to do that.
Well,
so
we'll
I'll
figure
work
it
on
out.
it. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So that's what's
Our
going
new
on.
Project.
When we get all the way done, Genix Mom will be the station manager, and Josh will be the janitor. Genix Talks Radio, KGXT station manager, and KGXT station janitor.
Just
Going to
what
give him
I
a broom.
need. Another title, another hat. So, by the way, what is that gross thing at the bottom of your Mac? What is that?
What are you talking about?
There's something on your Mac on the bottom there.
Okay.
What is? Ew.
Hold on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you're viewing this, I just pulled it off of there.
What the hell is that?
Stop, I'll tell you. Look, see how I can squeeze it like that? This is one of those.
It's like a booger.
It's not. It's a thing you give me for what is it?
Oh, they're
Ginseng.
ginger.
Yeah, you
ginger
get
for your tummy.
Okay, but they're kind of elasticy and they're big and they get caught in my teeth.
You're not supposed
So
to chew them. You're supposed to just. Oh my god.
Go ahead, say it. You're going to say suck on it, and I was going to say, how do you do that? you got close.
I ain't go there. You're supposed to let it melt in your mouth.
All right, that's what he said. Anyway, so I tore it in half because it was and I put the other half on the base and throw it away. You gotta quit picking apart my shit over here. Leave me alone.
God, there is such a thing as a trash can, you freaking 12-year-old.
There is not a trash can in here.
12-year-old?
Is there a trash can in here?
There's one in the house somewhere.
Well,
you can't
I don't
get
want
up
to-
and go do it.
No, I'm busy. I got stuff to do. Can't be wasting time. What'd you just say about the truckers on Tehachapi? Time is money. That's right. I can't be walking around the house looking for a trash can.
This morning,
What?
you took a shower this morning.
I did.
There's 2 different colors of soap.
Okay, listen. These are really easy to explain. I had 2 ideas real quick.
Whoa. You know what I'm talking about already?
You're going to talk about the colors of the crayon soap on the shower doors.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wunagi. See, I knew what you were thinking.
It's
Listen, it's
brought
real.
it to Minden.
First of all, I got to admit something. I can't invent the whole invention on anything. I've realized that. I got good ideas, and my ideas I can draw out practical application, but then we need a science nerd or a gearhead like your brother, a machinist, to do the plumb bob part of it. Okay, real quick. You know how in your stomach you have a time release capsule for medicine, and they build pills that dissolve in certain and time release, so you can have 24 hours.
Yes.
The medicine goes through your body evenly.
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you going with this?
Time release deodorant.
I think they have that.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I think they have
Time
that.
release deodorant. So, like, if you go to work and then at 11 o'clock you're sweating because you're a construction worker, you're automotive worker, so it releases a whole nother fresh coat of wherever you'd put your deodorant. Again, like, it opens up. Like, you put a layer on, then you put another
doesn't
layer
do
on,
that.
then you put another layer on, then you put another layer on, and you put 6 layers on. And once every hour and a half, the deodorant freshens itself up. It's time released.
I don't know, that sounds really bad for you.
Listen,
Sounds like there's a chemical in there that I don't want under
there-
my armpit.
Okay, but listen, what if there was a chemical that covered the deodorant, so the deodorant wasn't being used, the chemical kind of dissolves, and as soon as air hits the deodorant, boom, fresh smell,
I
clean
thought you were
again.
going with heat.
Well, heat can
Once heat rises.
heat can
But I'm
dissolve the
pretty sure
chemical.
there is some deodorant that's like that. Why do they say be protective for like 48 hours?
Because it's a big, thick layer of crap under your arm that never comes off. That's
I don't
why.
think so. I think there is some.
Okay, here's the other one. Hairspray that you can buy that matches the color of your hair.
Already invented.
Are you just trying to burst my bubble today? What-
Yes, I am, because these are old. This is old stuff, man.
Well, I've never used it. Excuse me. But if you had hairspray, it'd be like when you go buy a
I
touch-up.
used that in the 80s.
When you use touch-up paint on your car,
Yeah.
you go to the dealership and you buy a little tiny bottle, like a little nail polish, and it's the exact color of your car. You get a ding, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay, a little tiny bottle of hairspray that if you're getting a little gray, a little miscolor, something happens.
They have it for guys too. They have them for colored for girls. You can put glitter in your hair with hairspray too. You can put glitter.
Listen,
That's old news.
these are my personal inventions that I came up with. I didn't see this somewhere. I just
You're
thought
behind
of
the
it.
times, okay?
Well, at least it's an original idea. That's like,
Was an original idea.
wow, I'm talking anymore about this shit. I'm done. Those are my 2 inventions. That's what I was drawing with 2 different colors.
Next time, clean the door off.
I was late.
Oh my gosh. So, any
Yeah.
changes with our dear daughter Jade and Jevin?
Oh, the Jade and Jevin update. Since we did a Briggs update early, well, they're both being very nice. Every time they come over, they're very
Yeah,
polite.
He doesn't talk to me much.
No, but he smiles to me and everything's fine. He is more accepting of stuff now.
Oh, really?
Well, I got a speech. I'm sorry. I guess Jade and him got into an argument over the fridge. She's like, our refrigerator hasn't worked in 2 years. Our refrigerator just has one corner that gets frozen cold, and we always have to throw stuff out. My dad is giving us a free refrigerator.
Yeah.
I guess he told him the speech, I don't like to be given things. I like to work for what I get. I earn what I get. All right. That's a very good thing to say. We all,
Buy a fridge.
as men, we all say that. But as men, we don't mind if someone gives us something. Instead of throwing it away, we're like, wait, don't throw that out. Give me that.
Right.
Or wait, that's broken. I'll fix it and use it. You can also be that guy at the same time. So I guess Jade got through listening to his argument speech about how, because she told me that's the speech he gave her. And I guess she said something along the lines of, okay, I've listened to everything you've said. I understand your perspective. Now take the goddamn fridge. I got it. So the only thing that's missing now is that some of the stuff that I was offering before that he was refusing, or him and Jade were refusing, or however that circle jerk went, tools are off the table. Not offering those anymore. No, you had your chance. You shunned me. We're done. But the fridge and some other stuff, Jade has been, you gave her a very expensive
Food processor.
food processor the other day. She is just thrilled when you're handing her those things.
I hope she keeps them.
And you gave her some of our second sets of dishes and things and stuff. She values everything you're doing.
Mixing bowls. I had a whole bunch of mixing bowls and stuff, so I gave them.
Yeah, it's the stuff you've given her. I can tell she values very much.
That's good.
And she's taken them right to the car, like ignoring him. Like, I don't care what you're saying. Shut the fuck up. My mom's giving me this stuff because it's stuff they don't have to go buy.
Oh, well, I appreciated it like when I was younger, when my mom went through her stuff and was like, "Here, you have this, you can have." It was nice.
Yeah, huge.
So I'm so glad she took it too. I didn't even ask Jevin at all. I
No.
didn't say anything. So.
But they've been helpful. They've been doing stuff. We just got to keep them hydrated. I noticed they were kind of getting hot. The humidity had come up a little bit, and that was taking a toll on everybody.
Summer is hitting in Central California.
I will tell you
Totally.
that the loading days,
Yeah.
Briggs outworked everybody. In my opinion, Briggs outworked everybody. He started earlier.
That's
He
cool.
stayed later. He had his head on straight. He was restacking some of the stuff that other people were doing, and I watched. He was doing it right.
So he's learning.
Oh, he's learning for sure. Yeah, when he's got his motivation going, he's double tough with that.
Money motivates.
Money motivates. Yeah, he was doing a good job. I
Have you
won't.
paid him lately?
I no the.
That's why it happened yesterday.
No,
I'm just
that's
kidding.
that's the one where I told him. I said, "You make it really hard for me to kick you cash when you may finish strong at the end of the day, but we are all now traveling on the road later than we wanted to. Everyone's frustrated." I said, "You have a real hard time making me want to kick you some money when this is what we're doing. This is tough."
Understood.
So he got it, but it's coming along in that. Speaking of summer. I woke up this morning to another windy day in Minden.
It was breezy.
It's fucking windy.
Breezy.
I think your brother-in-law lied to us.
Brother-in-law.
I mean, my brother-in-law, your brother. I think your brother lied to us because I asked him. I said, "How often does the wind blow like this?" Not bad.
Not that strong. It's
Bullshit.
Nice.
His answer should have been Blues Brothers.
Oh my gosh, you don't even go outside anyways.
Blues Brothers truthful. We are going to be building a house over the next 2 years.
You're building it. You're going to get out there with your nails
It's
and
all
hammer.
outdoors.
Well, you can sit in your truck and watch these young guys do it. Oh yeah, you're building the house.
I think your brother should have been honest and said, "The wind blows so often you don't even notice it anymore."
That's what's going to happen with you. You're not even going to care anymore.
Hey, how often does the train go by? The train goes by so often you won't even notice it anymore.
Unbelievable.
That's what I think. But now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be up here for a week straight and it won't blow all week. Every fucking day the wind blows and it doesn't just breezy blow. It blows like it's trying to find something to knock over. The wind comes through this valley like, what's weak? I'm taking it out.
Complaining.
Here's another one for you.
Oh my gosh, here's another complaint.
You know what I just learned about Minden?
What?
In the land of Bake, in the Southern California region of my world, summer can start the beginning of May and go all the way to the end of September. It can be warm, nice.
Until Halloween sometimes.
Yeah, nice, beautiful. Go to the beach, go to the mountains, stay outside, swim in your pool. So that's like 4 or 5 months of summer. Bend, Oregon, and Minden, Nevada, they get the whole 5 weeks of summer.
We'll have to see.
People bringing out Walmart put out their canoes, and they're like, "You better hurry." The sign on it said, "You better hurry. 5 weeks goes by fast. Don't wait. Buy your canoes now. Buy your kayaks now."
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, I'm trying to warn you. You get 5 weeks of summer
I'm
out
okay
here.
with that. I told you that.
You are the epitome
I love summer.
of a tan beach poolside Southern California girl.
Been much swimming lately. The last couple of years I've been like, yeah, it's okay. But if I want to be in the sun, I can go in the backyard. I can hang out in the sun.
Well, we're going to miss part of the 5 weeks of summer because I'm telling you, that's what it is. And it's not even started yet because it won't start till like July 15th and it'll go till October 31st. There's your August 31st.
You know what I'm looking forward to? A 4th of July where it's not 110 degrees outside and fireworks are going on. And it was so hot. We've had so many.
Yeah.
Uncomfortably.
Well, to
4th of
be
July.
fair with you too, we poured all that stamped concrete in the backyard, and there were summers that it was so hot you couldn't walk outside because of the heat coming off the concrete, and the kids didn't want to swim in the pool. They're like, "Dad, it's like bath water."
Bathwater. It wasn't refreshing.
It wasn't refreshing at all. So there is some of that to be said. I've learned, other than true Southern California, and this is just my statement, but I will put this statement up against any place in the United States. This is just the general's opinion, and I have lived all over. other than true Southern California, say like where Trippy Pineapple lives, Orange County, San Fernando Valley, especially where we lived, except for that one area of the country, every place you live has 4 months of bad weather.
I'm
Tough.
okay with that.
Went to Las Vegas, 4 months of heat. Bakersfield, 4 months of extreme heat. Lived in Bend, Oregon for years, as you know.
Yeah.
What do we have up there? 4 months of snow and wind. I mean, you get nice. Yes, you get nice.
I know.
Down in Florida, there was hot, humid days. I mean, 4 months of like, oh my God, I can't take it. Every place I've ever lived, there's 4 months of bad fucking weather other than a very small pocket in Southern California.
I got it. We
Which
used
is-
to have Indian summers in Southern California in like October.
You better tell people what that means. They don't know what that term even
Indian
means.
summers was in October when it should be fall. We would get into the 90s, hundreds in September, almost to October.
I hate to interrupt you, but we're getting a phone call that I have to take.
From who?
Briggs, you are live on KGXT Radio, the Gen X Talks podcast. How can I help you?
Hi, KGXT Radio. So, where do I take the trailer after I load it up?
When you're hooked up to the trailer, you need to bring it back to the Loop Studios so we can unload it.
Oh, we're not taking it to the storage?
After we take out the things that we have to have here. If there's only a couple things, then we'll take it over next. But yes, your first stop is here, son.
Okay, cool. Bye.
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 You know, you think when he takes off from the house, he runs out, gets his dog, jumps in the truck, and heads out. Shouldn't he go, where am I going?
Well, he didn't called.
Wouldn't that be a thing? It's like, oh, I got all excited. I ran out the door with my soda in my hand. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Goodness.
All right, whatever.
So do you want to end our hour with a car story? Do you have one this week?
You know, I was thinking about something funny. I think I might have told this story on a live stream like 4 years ago. Maybe I didn't. This is an absolute true story, and it's a 1 in a million story.
Okay.
It like can never. If you'd have to plan this to make it happen.
Okay.
Okay, as I was leaving Las Vegas, I forget the name of the Dodge dealership I was working at. It might have been Wilden and Pride Dodge. And to preface it, back in the early 90s, they were a lot of fuel lines on vehicles. There's 9. That is 9 yawns. We made the over-under of
You
9.
have to tell people.
I have to. It's my job. Fuel lines were all rubber for years and years and years, and then they went to, we call them plastic, but they were like a neoprene, and they went for high pressure fuel pumps and rubber lines. It really wasn't that you couldn't make a rubber line to hold the new pressures. You could, but the clamps we were all using wouldn't hold. You couldn't just screw on a clamp; it would blow the line off the end. And so, in the beginning, late 80s and early 90s, when you had these plastic fuel lines, they were pretty reliable, as I recall, but you couldn't repair them. At the time, they didn't have plastic line repair kits. None had been invented yet. Snap-on wasn't selling them yet, or I would have had one, of course. So you kind of had to go to the dealership and you had to replace the whole line. The dealership had to stock from the front of the car to the back of the car.
Wow.
All one line, or from the fuel tank to the fuel filter. Then there was another one from the filter all the way to the engine. They were a little bit complicated and tricky to do. So this guy has a brand new Chrysler or something. It was a 4-door car. And he comes into the dealership in Las Vegas, and I am like days from leaving. I'm packing my shit and I'm leaving. But I'm working. I still need some traveling money. Got to get my paycheck. And this guy comes in and put the car on the rack, and I call the service manager out, and I said, look, he's got a break at the fuel filter, and the parts department doesn't have the line in stock. They've already sold like the 5 they had. It's going to be like 4 or 5 more days. And the manager says, is there anything you can do to rig this thing to go? And I said, no, not really. These are these weird plastic lines. We can't clamp them. We really can't. There weren't any kits for them at the time. That, like I said, back then, even the clips that held them on, if you broke a clip at that time, you couldn't get another clip. You had to replace the whole line. So it was not easy. And I said, there's really nothing I can do. And the guy was having a fit. Now, the service manager should have just told him, sorry, it could cause a fire. It could cause an accident. It's against the law. And he came out and said, look, the guy will give you a $100 bill cash on top of him paying the bill here if you can make something. And I went, I don't think I can. So, and I hadn't talked to the, I got to be clear about this. Maybe I said it wrong. I hadn't talked to the customer myself. The service manager had brought him out there. The service writer had brought him out to the car, but I wasn't standing there. I was doing something else. But you know, I knew who the guy was. I saw him. And anyway, the service manager talked me into doing it. So I'm getting paid for the job, and I'm getting paid a $100 bill. And I said, you can't drive. I told the service manager, you can't drive this very far, and you're going to have to get it replaced. And I guess he told the service manager he's just driving to the next town, and there'll be a dealership, and he'll get it fixed. And I said, okay. So I washed my hands of the whole thing. I wrote on the there, unsafe, do not drive, tow vehicles. So I had a copy of it when the service writer printed it out. And the service writer wrote it up that way too, that we were like, hey, we're being forced to do this and we don't agree with it, and we're warning. I don't know. Maybe that would have covered us. Maybe not. Who knows? It ends up it didn't matter. So I get it to not leak the fuel. I get it patched up the best I can. It's kind of hokey looking, but it did work. So I figured the guy'd be back in an hour. I figured the guy'd be back the next day on a tow truck, you know, and there's this, it was a bright green 4-door car. Like you couldn't miss this thing. So I just thought, you know, this thing's going to come back. So the service manager handed me the $100 bill. The car was gone out the door. And a couple more days go by. I packed my stuff, quit my job, loaded up my tools, and I left Las Vegas, and I headed for Thomas Sales and Service in Bend, Oregon. And I went up there, and they're like, I already had a job lined up because I'd called them and said and by then you could put your name in a computer and they could see how many classes you've taken. So I said, look, I'm leaving. Do you want another technician? And the service manager says, yeah, I got a spot for you. So a couple, 2 or 3 days go by, I drive up there. I rent a little place to live, and I put my tools in the spot. The next day I show up for work, and I think I did 2 oil changes and headlights or something. And on a tow truck, coming around the backside of the dealership, on the back of this tow truck is this fucking green car.
What are the chances?
And I said, no fucking way. Because I drove from Las Vegas to Central Oregon.
Right. What are the chances?
And the new service manager comes out and says, well, he was trying to make it from Vegas to like Portland or something, and he was coming through Bend. And
that was the next town?
That's
According to him, that was the next town?
Believe me when I tell you, customers lie.
No. Really?
And he says, apparently it has some sort of fuel leak. He had to get it towed from outside of town, and he wants to know if we can fix it. And so I put it up in the rack, and there's all my handiwork from Las Vegas. And so I said to the service manager, well, he comes out, he goes, what kind of shit is this? I said, well, it looks like somebody patched him up to get him on the road. He goes, you can't do that shit. I go, well, you know, maybe he was insistent. So he goes and talks to the guy, and he goes, yeah, he talked some dealership into Vegas to patching this thing together. Bunch of dumb shits down there. What kind of fucked up mechanic would do this? And I go, never hire that guy. I had to fix it. Now, this parts department did have the right line, and I had to fix it and put it on there, and the guy drove away. But I fixed that car twice.
The guy never saw you? Oh, he never saw you
He never saw me the first time.
Thank God.
And there's no way he would have thought there was 2 of me.
That's unbelievable.
And yeah, that's a true story, that the fuel leak from Las Vegas came up a few days later and was in Bend, Oregon, and the guy got towed in. And what would have given it away for me is if the tow truck would have come back and the manager would have said, hey, have that tow truck driver put it on your rack, and I would have said something dumb like, fuel leak?
That would have been funny.
But I didn't do that, and then
Wow.
the guy went on his way.
What are the chances?
I'm telling you, that is one of the things in my life that I look at and go, that was a 1 in a million thing. That guy could have driven to Louisiana. He could have been driving to San Diego.
Or to the next town that he said he was going to go to.
And I ended up fixing that same Chrysler with that same problem and down the road. So technically I got paid to do the job twice. That's the way I look at it. So,
Right.
yeah.
You got paid. So whatever.
So there you go. True enough. It's a
All
true
right.
story, or at least true. It's a story.
An hour is over. I got to go walk my dog.
That's the way I remember it.
A lie or two.
Give or take a lie or two.
I gotta go walk my dog now because he's sad today.
Your dog is in a weird mood. I will give you that.
Well, he was stuck in the car with us for many hours yesterday.
Yeah, well, you were stuck in the car with me. You're not sad today. See?
How do you know?
Because I can look in your
Girls
eyes.
can fake it. Oh, I guess that's another story for another time.
That's another topic. Yeah, that's a different segment.
I don't want to depress you today.
No, don't.
All right.
Well, you go walk the dog. Actually, you know what happens next is that I don't have time to edit this. You know, I got to edit it and get ready to post it and
You
do all
gotta
that.
go work.
No, we got to go to the garage.
Not
we got to
we.
take.
No.
I'm sorry.
There's no we.
Well, if you look, if you yell and point, but you're not lifting anything today, I'm telling you. So yes, the trailer has to be unloaded. Then we have to go to pick up the other trailer. Both trailers go to storage.
He keeps saying we.
Briggs and I.
Thank you.
And then we'll probably get there about 12:30, and we have 12:30 till 4:30 to get unloaded.
There you go.
And then we got to be back here by 5 for the show tonight. So tonight, just so you
Five
guys,
for the show. Oh, to prep.
little prep, but
Okay.
tonight we're doing a call-in show. We're going to do questions and answers. We're going to talk about whatever's in the sheets. I'm going to do
Whatever blows your skirt up.
whatever
You know. That's an old saying.
whatever blows.
Whatever blows your skirt up.
I guess is that a good feeling?
Depends.
I've never had my skirt blown up, so I'm going to have to defer to you on that one.
Depends on what's blowing up there. I don't know.
So we'll do that. So any of you who are listening today and you want to call in tonight, we're just going to have an open line Friday, as they say back in the day, and we'll just talk about whatever comes up. That'll make the show prep version easier.
Yeah.
And that'll give us some time to get squared away. So anyway, say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening in. Not sure where you're chiming in from around the planet. AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things in life. Number 1, wherever you go, well, there you are. Number 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out, baby.